Hey guys, welcome to phonics. Alright, like you remember that we've talked about all year, phonics is where we talk about the letters and the sounds that the letters make. So the letter that we're going to be talking about this week is the letter O. And we're going to be talking about the long O sound. So if we look at these words, the words that are on the screen now are not long O. They have short O, because remember the vowels can be short or the vowels can be long. Or these are short. Ma'op, ka'on, na'ot, and rob. If you guys remember, how can I make these be long? Do you guys remember how to do that? Yeah, that's the only way we've learned about long O so far, is that we can have sneaky E that makes the long O say its name. So like if I put a sneaky E on the end of this word, now I have mope. Yeah, because the O will say its name now, so mope. And then if I put the sneaky E on rob, I'll have, good, I've got robe, because remember now it says its name. And instead of con, I would have cone, good, it says its name. And then instead of not, I would have note, very good. If you notice in each of these words, the O says its name. That's what makes the long O sound. So we got ma'ope, ka'one, na'ote, and robe. You hear the O in each of the words. Well, there are other ways that letters can make the O sound, not just sneaky E. So we're going to look at a poem real quick. And there are some words in this poem that have long O. So when I read the poem, I want you to pay attention and listen for any words that you hear that have that long O sound. So here we go. The poem is called Goat and Toad. A gentleman goat fell in love with a toad, who he happened to meet by the side of the road. He adored her low croak, she adored his fur coat, and so they got married, the toad and the goat. So did you hear some long O words in there? I did too. Take a second to see if you can find all the words that make the long O sound. Do you think you found them all? Let's see. The words that are in red are all the words in the poem that have the long O sound. And remember, it's really important to remember that all words that have an O don't always have a long O. For example, the word who, that doesn't say its name. Who, it says oo, not O. And like love, love's got an O, but it doesn't say long O. It doesn't say la-ove. It's just love. So be real careful. Just because a word has an O doesn't mean it's a long O. But now these words do have long O. And do you notice what some of them have that are making the long O sound? Yeah, sometimes they have an O and an A together. When you have an O and an A together, it's going to say the O sound. You're right, just like all these words. What else do some of these words have that make the O sound? What do the rest of the words have? Yeah. OW can make the O sound, and so can just plain old O by itself. You're right, they can make the O sound too. And they kind of made just a little diagram to show you, yeah, the words that were in the poem that had the O sound with OA, and the ones that just had O, and the one that just had OW. There's another way to make the O sound that was not in this poem. And it is in these words right here. So look at these words. We've got toe, Joe, and doe. They do all rhyme, you're right. What says O in all of these words? Yeah, it's the O and the E. So O and E can make that O sound too. That's what makes the O sound in those words. So just to go over really quick, what can make that O sound? Remember, you can have OA, OW, O, or OE. All of these will make that long O sound where it says its name. All these say O. So we're going to take just a second and we're going to look at our spelling words, because your spelling words this week are going to have that O sound too. They're going to have the long O. So let's take just a second and find what makes the O sound in all these words. What says O in told? To old. Yeah, it's just the O. What about most? Most. Yeah, it's just the O. What about float? Good. This time it's the O and the A. Same thing in coat, right? The O and the A say O. Oh, there's another O and an A in toast. What about grow? Yeah, it's got OW that says O. Grow. And so does mow. Good job. Like when you mow the grass. And show. And then look, we have our OE words. We've got Joe and toe. They both have the OE in them. And then the rest of these words that have left that are on our spelling words are just review words of words that you should know. Light and mind were our last spelling words that we had. They were the I sound. And then only, our, and who were just review words from first grade. So we've got most of them have the O sound, and then you have a few review words. But remember what can make that O sound. You can have O all by itself, like in told and most. You can have OA, like in float and coat and toast. You can have OW, like grow and mow and show. Or OE, like Joe and toe. Those are just all the different ways to make that O sound. Alright, you're going to practice just a little bit more, finding some more words that have that O sound, and reading and writing them. And I will see you guys later. Bye.